We're going to open up the lines as well, but KJ is joining me live now. KJ, he's gone. He's been sacked. He has lost his job. Talk to me.
Listen, I was minding my own business today. I was just getting on with my work, just around the house. Wasn't even paying attention to Twitter that much this morning. And then the group chat just starts popping off. I'm 15 minutes late to the news. I was not expecting this whatsoever. I was thinking maybe the November international break, that's when they'll probably pull the trigger. If not that, then, bro, and into the end of the season, like, we're just going to be finished, isn't it? But they finally pulled the trigger. And listen, people say that's not fair because I have to back off that decision. It's not his fault. But I think Ineos finally have said enough is enough. These players are not scoring goals. Nothing is going right for Manchester United, and something needs to change. And the manager has to be the one to change because they can't sell all the players in January. They couldn't sell all the players and buy new players in the summer. So something had to change. And finally, he is gone. Now, I'm not sitting here saying we're now going to be fixed and we're going to be on a title charge and we're going to win the Premier League now until now to the end of the season. But at least now we can look forward to hopefully seeing some better football. Now, I don't know what Ruud is going to do with the team. I hope he tries to implement what Ineos actually want, because Ten Hag clearly weren't doing that. But I can finally watch a game with some intrigue, with some excitement, with some kind of how are we going to do today? You know what I mean? For the last few months, it's just been, I know what's going to happen. We're just not going to play well. We're going to have a scrape a 1-0 win, or we're just going to get battered, or nothing's going to go away. I was empty. I was feeling empty inside. Now that this guy is gone, I'm not saying I'm now fulfilled and I'm back and I can be happy again, but at least I can look forward to something new. At least I can be intrigued. And now I can really start to judge Ineos going forward. Because this was the one decision I was holding them back from getting judged properly, because everyone was so fixated on Ten Hag and their decision to keep him. Now that they finally did it, we can start looking forward to what's going on. I will say, we predicted this happening in terms of they didn't sack him in the international break. It's been, 4 games? And he's gone anyway. So it's one of those ones where it doesn't make the best footballing sense to have done what they did. But I'm allowing them to make a mistake. I'm allowing them to get things wrong and get it right. Because it's only not even the first year has gone past yet. They've had one summer. They've had 9 games into a season. All right, listen. Big up, man. Today's a good day. 1 game, we're 9 games into a season. We're 9 games into a Premier League season. So I can't sit there and say they're the worst owners ever and we're just going to go backwards here and there, because that's no time at all to judge anyone. Ruud interim is the best thing that we can do right now. Because, listen, I don't want to hear nothing about Southgate. I see Southgate in the chat, bro. Southgate ain't coming, bro. There's no way. If Southgate comes in, yo, you're gonna see me reverse what the smile that I have. The frown will be upside down. You know what I'm saying? The smile will be upside down. I will not be happy if we get Southgate. But we need Ruud interim, and really, please, Ineos, please do some major due diligence on these managers that we want to sign. Because one of the things that we were cussing the Glazers for is, why are you chopping and changing which style of manager that you want? Why are you going from Moyes to LVG to Jose to Oli to Ten Hag? So this is your first appointment. The Ten Hag decision is now erased from my mind. That never happened. He just happened to be here. This is your first appointment. This appointment is so important because it then sets the way that you want to play from now until we get back to the top. Because say if this next manager comes in and it doesn't work, I expect Ineos to do the same they've done now, remove him from his position, and bring in a manager who can do what the manager did, but better. So I really want them to do due diligence on this manager they want to get. Make sure he plays the right football. Make sure he wants to use the players that we've got. Make sure they align themselves with the vision that Ineos have for Manchester United, and that manager can fit into that. That's what I'm hoping for, because Erik Ten Hag, he did wonders with what he did in terms of winning trophies. No one expected us to win 2 trophies in a year. Two trophies in 2 seasons, and we did that. So Ten Hag, I thank you for doing that. I thank you for having Rashford and getting him to have one of the best goal and scoring seasons we've seen at Manchester United in over 10 years. And I thank you for your effort. I will say that. You may not have been good enough, and you may have been winding us up towards the end, but you know what? You were trying. I can accept that as a manager. You weren't, I don't think you was trying to sabotage. You just weren't good enough. That's fine. It's over now. We can move on, and I wish him the best in his career. Hopefully he goes find somewhere they can play his football and he can win trophies and leagues again like he did at Ajax. But it's now time to move on, and I really hope that we get someone good.
And I want to echo that as well. By the way, we've got the poll running. Make sure you're hitting the like button for us, people. There's just over 4,000 people tuning in, so get that like button smashed right now. I know some of you forget. I know a lot of you watch it on TV, but get the like button hit right now for us, people, and get the poll filled in as well. If you can't see the poll, just hit the refresh button, and you should see that. I want to echo the thanks as well. That I have, in moments of anger, I've obviously shouted, I've screamed, I've been annoyed, I've been frustrated, I've criticized, and I stand by that criticism. But thank you for the 2 trophies. They will be ever etched into the history of the football club. As I stated, I remember that day very well. Me, you, and Danny, Devil in the Details, were in the studio in London. We'd just been out and got some really nice street food. Nice chicken and rice.
It was dizzy. It was dizzy.
It wasn't dizzy. It was when Ten Hag was announced.
Oh no!
Announced. Yeah. And we filmed that video. We filmed it in the studio, and I remember saying words to the effect of, "I have faith in this manager. I think he's a very good coach. But if we don't change the structure at the club, if we don't change how we operate, if we don't bring in better key football decision makers, he will eventually be swallowed by the rot at the football club in the same way as every previous manager." So I am not surprised it failed. And I've said this many times. I wouldn't be surprised if Ten Hag leaves, takes some time out, joins another football club, and does well. I would not be surprised, because I don't necessarily think he's as bad as the last 12 months or so suggests. For Man United, he's been bad, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he won't do well elsewhere. The same as I remember Spurs fans saying about Jose, I don't care what he's won before, he's been bad at my club. And that also makes sense, right? Someone's CV maybe give you a bit more time, a bit more credit in the bank, but the CV doesn't stop you from being disliked or criticized because you won trophies for previous clubs. It works the same in reverse here. I think he'll go on and do well elsewhere. So I want to thank him for what he's done, but it's the right thing for us to do. Now what it comes down to is appointing the right manager who looks at this squad and believes that he can get the best out of what there is now, and then wants to add better versions of this squad. What I don't want is, right, we've got to start all over again, scrap everybody. I want someone that comes in here and says, I like Maswari, I like De Ligt, I like Onana, I like Mainu, I like Garnacho. Now, they've got to deliver against that, and if they don't, we're just going to replace them with better versions than what we've got. What I don't want is a club and a manager going, right, I want completely different profiles of players, barring 2 individuals. That's a worry for me. You know, we should have already nailed our flags that the players we signed in the summer should be part of the long-term vision of the club, irrespective of the manager. Getting that synergy is so important now. So the question I have for you, by the way, have you shared the link in the group chat with everybody else?
Yep, I've shared it out. And guess what? The rivals ain't going to come, because guess what? This is the news they didn't want to hear.
Yeah. Listen, we're gonna put the link out now to the viewers. We'll put that out for you, and we'll pin it up. If you put it in the Legends and group chat as well, please, that'd be great. It'd be good to hear from our Legends and super fans in the group chat as well. Actually, I'm gonna go to some of the comments before I talk about the next manager. This here from Nav makes a lot of sense. Nav here says, at least now we don't have a major division in the fan base, and finally I can enjoy watching TFT without any agendas. And look, what I'll say is this: there is no agendas on the football terrace. There is opinions, and what I mean by that is I have an opinion that he should have gone, but it wasn't an agenda. Again, it wasn't an agenda in the sense of I was not trying at any point to be. There were times where, like yesterday, I didn't blame him for all the misses. As an example, I still criticized the refereeing decisions yesterday. but we can't ignore how poor we were in the second half and how poor we regularly are in second halves of games. But where I do concur with you, Nav, 100%, is hopefully now the fan base can be a little bit more united. We can start playing some better football. We can be more engaged and more excited about our games coming up. And I was even I follow some accounts, diehard Reds. So one of the Reds I follow, I think he's his granddad or his great granddad helped build the stadium. He's a long-standing Red, but born and bred himself in Salford. I saw him tweet last night, and he just said, "I never like calling out managers to be sacked. It's not my way personally." He said, "But I just can't see how this individual stays. I can't see, love him or loathe him, doesn't matter if you back him or not. It's just finished now." When I saw him tweet that last night, I just thought to myself, it sounds like everybody is finally on the same page as fans with this, which ironically, I'm gonna shout out LB here, is exactly what LB thought Ineos were doing. Maybe it was about just giving the manager a long enough time to a point where there was no support left for him, which means everybody's in unity with the decision to move him on, which means maybe you can bring everybody together. Now, I hope what LB says is true. I really do. Bear here says Mourinho said he wants to take over a mid-table club. I think it suits you very well, like Ancelotti at Everton.
Hey, man, we've been here before, baby. We've been there before.
Yeah, that's certainly true. So I'm just bookmarking when we started doing the super chats in the comments, just so people can come back and see our interactions with what they are saying. Thank you as well to Ads for becoming